Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared on Wednesday on Twitter's audio platform that he is entering the Republican presidential primary, setting up a contest with the current GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, after technical difficulties delayed the start by 25 minutes. During a gathering with Twitter CEO Elon Musk and tech investor David Sacks, he declared, "I am running for president of the United States to lead our great American comeback. But we are aware of the wrong course our nation is taking. We can actually see it. And we can physically feel it." DeSantis, who easily won re-election last fall and attracted the attention of a party eager to move past recent setbacks, opened a new chapter in the campaign to unseat President Joe Biden in 2024 with those words. Despite entering the Republican primary later than other candidates, DeSantis has more funding for his campaign and is currently leading Trump in the polls. In his opening remarks, DeSantis painted a bleak picture of a nation he claimed was headed in the wrong direction under Biden and pleaded with Republicans to support him. DeSantis stated, "My promise to you is this. If you nominate me, you can set your clock to January 20, 2025, at high noon, because I will be taking the oath of office as the 47th President of the United States on the west side of the U.S. Capitol. No justifications, I'll finish the job." Except for an implied jab that has become a staple of his pre-campaign rhetoric, the Florida governor, who received a decisive boost from Trump during the 2018 primary, avoided criticizing Trump directly. The governor, who earlier on Wednesday filed with the Federal Election Commission, said, "There is no substitute for victory. We must eradicate the winning-oriented culture that has recently infected the Republican Party." DeSantis once more declined to take direct aim at Trump during the question-and-answer period. When asked how DeSantis would make sure his agenda is implemented, conservative commentator Steve Deese first listed many of the former president's alleged flaws. "Even my harshest detractors in Florida will agree with me when I say I'm going to do something," according to DeSantis. "I don't promise things or take things I say I'm going to do lightly." DeSantis made an unusual choice for a presidential candidate when he decided to share the stage with Musk, who recently bought Twitter and commands a fervent following of mostly right-leaning supporters. It expressed his desire to influence the rising number of right-wing activists on the website. To that end, DeSantis dismissed claims that a book ban violated state standards as curation that is not consistent with state standards, dismissed the technical difficulties that plagued the first half of the virtual event, and attacked the NAACP, the nation's foremost civil rights organization, as a left-wing outfit. DeSantis recently voiced his opposition to congressional action to regulate cryptocurrency, a topic that the men moderating the chat enjoyed discussing. DeSantis responded, "You have every right to do Bitcoin," at which point Musk mentioned Dogecoin, an alternative cryptocurrency that the multi-billionaire had a hand in popularizing. Reducing the size of the federal bureaucracies, according to DeSantis, will be a key component of his platform moving forward. "The status quo is unacceptable," he said, adding that they would discuss this topic in more detail as the campaign progressed. Then, in his first televised interview following his announcement, he told Fox News he would fire Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, on the first day of his administration. "I wouldn't continue to have Chris Wray as director. On the first day, there will be a new one," DeSantis promised. "I believe that the DOJ and FBI have become disoriented. They have become very partisan in my opinion, and have been weaponized against Americans who share your and my political views. State agencies that frequently operated independently have been transformed into extensions of DeSantis's administration by the governor." The meeting was described by Musk as an organic conversation with DeSantis. A revolving cast of allies, including Dana Loesch, the former NRA spokeswoman, Rep. Thomas Massie, a Kentucky Republican who supported the governor, Jay Bhattacharya, a Stanford professor who advised DeSantis on COVID, Chris Rufo, a conservative commentator who spearheaded the fight against critical race theory, and Representative DeSantis was supposed to have his moment in the spotlight, but many of the invited guests seemed to ignore him and spent the majority of their time praising Musk. "I am one of your biggest supporters," Massie told Musk. "I own a Tesla and am the first congressman to do so. I use Starlink." A lot of the discussion also focused on Twitter and its capacity to displace the so-called legacy media, only moments after the social media site botched the most crucial occasion in DeSantis' career. Musk declared, "We are absolutely committed to freedom of speech, fair play, and just a robust debate. If every government and media outlet are following the same agenda, the First Amendment is meaningless." Although Musk insisted that the technical hiccup at the beginning of the intended conversation was actually a demonstration of Twitter's strength, the gaffe sparked a barrage of derision from DeSantis' opponents. Ron DeSantis' botched campaign announcement is yet another illustration of the fact that he is unfit for the position. The fight to save America is too important, and the stakes are too high, to bet on a rookie who is obviously not ready for the spotlight, according to Caroline Leavitt, a spokeswoman for Trump's super PAC, Make America Great Again Incorporated. Trump initially limited himself to commenting on DeSantis' appearance in a campaign launch video on his Truth Social website. The former president remarked that his rival's collar is too big. Later, Trump gave a critical assessment of the event. "Wow. It's a disaster that DeSantis launched on Twitter. His entire campaign will be a complete failure. Watch," he yelled. The Biden campaign also made fun of the chaotic launch by tweeting a fundraising link with the message, "This link works." DeSantis attacked Biden in his opening remarks, referring to him as the figurehead of the activist left and implying that the president is past his prime. The first of many rhetorical jabs at the woke ideology he claims is causing American decline was made by DeSantis. Our president, while lacking vigor, flounders in the face of our nation's challenges, and he takes his cues from the woke mob. Throughout the event, which ended up lasting more than an hour, Musk spoke in sporadic bursts, frequently using the podium to tout his ownership of Twitter and its role in the public square. Sachs complimented DeSantis after Twitter successfully launched the chat, telling him, "I think you broke the internet there." DeSantis stated, "We made that announcement on Twitter Spaces earlier tonight, and it broke the internet because so many people were eager to be on that Twitter space." DeSantis focused heavily on his contentious handling of COVID-19 in Florida and his more recent conflict with Disney when making his case to listeners, who largely listened even when Musk and company did not. DeSantis has also been critical of Musk and company. "When COVID occurred, I had to decide whether to follow the crowd or not. Or do you examine the data independently and go against the flow? I opted for the latter," DeSantis said. "In my opinion, I had to look out for the interests of the people I represented and would rather protect their jobs than try to protect my own political reputation, but making many of those decisions was very, very lonely." Musk was then praised by him for his management of Twitter and dedication to preserving freedom to debate.